I think it's this kind of dedicated but creative approach to a discipline which can teach you so much about not just music but life in general.
Music makes us more well-rounded people.
Music is a universal language which brings people together.
Music truly does enrich your soul.
Hi everyone, this is Yi Ying and I'm the founder of MusoHunt. I would love to use this opportunity today to be thanking you all for taking the time out today to be attending this masterclass, and we hope that you will be able to learn a lot out of it. We will also love to use this opportunity to be thanking our participants for agreeing to play, and also, of course, Adam to be sharing his knowledge with us today. Now, a little bit about Adam. Adam is not just a concert pianist, but also an accompanist and also a chamber musician for over 30 years. He's had a lot of experience performing as a recitalist in different countries, and we are so lucky to have him here at MusoHunt today. At MusoHunt, Adam is not just a piano teacher, but also a vocal coach as well as a voice teacher. Without further ado, let us welcome Adam Przewlocki and our first participant today, Amy Yu.
Hello, Amy.
Hi, Adam.
Lovely to have you here today for this masterclass. I'm absolutely thrilled to be here tonight. Thank you, Yi Ying, for your lovely words at the beginning. It's so lovely to be sharing our music during this, quite troubling time. And I feel very blessed and fortunate that we have the marvels of modern technology whereby you can be in Perth, Amy, presenting in Masterclass to your master teacher, which happens to be me today.
Thank you.
Who is all the way in Kyneton, which is in central regional Victoria. You had told me earlier during the sound check that you have a fan going on in your space. I currently have a heater in this space here, but we come together to share our music and to share some thoughts and to talk about the power of interpretation and what that power can mean to us as the interpreter, and what it can also mean to the recipient, the listener. And I'm very excited to have you here tonight. I know that you have two composers that you have offered today. You do have Sonata K484 of Domenico Scarlatti. So for those that aren't aware, Domenico Scarlatti really revolutionized the art of the one movement sonata before it became the three movement format in the classical period, which really was given birth by Haydn and then extrapolated further by Mozart and Beethoven. And Scarlatti was greatly influenced by Spanish culture, and a lot of the Spanish rhythms and the Spanish influences are to be found in his sonatas, of which he wrote more than 500. Quite extraordinary. They were, of course, originally written on the harpsichord because the piano wasn't invented at this time. And so for the modern pianist and for the modern instrument, of course, we have, I guess, many options to play with dynamics. The harpsichords that these would have been performed on, in many cases, were double manual keyboard. So they would have had the softer keyboard on the upper level and the louder keyboard on the lower level to create those dynamic contrasts, which was very much black and white. We now, of course, have more options open to us on the modern instruments. So I'm very interested, Amy, to see what you've done with this sonata, which is in the very jubilant, sunny, joyous key of D major. And When you're ready, Amy, please perform for us the Sonata K484 of Scarlatti. Thank you, Amy.
Thank you. Thank you, Adam.
Bravo, Amy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's interesting. It's such a brief little piece. I'd like you to actually perform that one more time before I talk, because this can be the very illuminating part. Okay, you've had a chance to break the ice. You've had a chance to blow out the cobwebs of some nerves. It's only about 1.5 minutes long. Perform again, and then I'll talk. Okay. If that's okay with you. It might seem a little bit unorthodox. It also gives me a chance to hear you perform it again. Because when you perform this, of course, you're hitting a fresh set of ears that hasn't heard you perform this. So I'm learning along the way as you're performing it to me as well. So I'd like you to, I've already got a couple of ideas that I want to talk about, but I'd like to hold off until I hear you perform that one more time.
Yep.
One thing I will say before you perform it again, and it's just a little thought. The lower notes on the piano, these notes in this area, are naturally louder by virtue of the fact that the strings are much thicker and fatter. So what I'd like to say to you on this run is to not focus so much on creating as much inherent tone in the low notes on a modern piano.
Okay.
Think about that on this run, and then I'll say a few more things.
Okay.
Thank you, Amy. So if you can perform for that one more time, then I'll start talking in more detail. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Good, not so heavy in the left hand.
Sorry?
Sorry, not so heavy in the left hand on these bass notes. So what I'm hearing, sorry to stop you, but I'm hearing a little bit.
Okay.
They're a little bit vertical. Pat them out a bit. So we're getting a sense of a bit of air around the sound. Yep. Delicato. you, Amy, so much.
Thank
Now
you.
that was fantastic because I felt that you were a little more relaxed on the second time around. Yeah, bravo.
Thank you.
So, I guess the age-old question, what is the purpose of a masterclass? Obviously, I'm not your teacher. That's the first thing that the audience needs to be aware of. Am I to dictate an interpretation on you? Absolutely not. Am I here to offer a couple of ideas that may open up some avenues of thought for you in retrospect when you've left the class? Absolutely yes. Do you need to agree with everything I may suggest to you? Absolutely not. And if your teacher says to you afterwards, oh, Mr. Adam was really great, but I didn't agree with what he said there, that's totally fine. Yeah? But I will offer a few ideas that I think may enhance the colour of your performance and may enhance the interpretation. I'd like to cast your eye immediately to page number 3 where we get into the B section. Now I'm going to play this A because I have freezing cold fingers here in Kyneton, and B because I want to highlight to you an optional dynamic plan. So during this B section, which the basic harmonic outline that's the basic harmonic plan. We can see it's a very clear sequence. Now, what you were aiming for, from what I could gather, you were aiming for echoes within each of those little phrases. So what I heard from you can I offer an option to create a stronger arc of tension, that we actually create a gradual crescendo throughout the entire phrase. So what we could do is start piano. Again, I can't play it as well as you because I haven't practiced it, so I'm going to do it slow and just work purely on the harmonic framework. Can I suggest that we start piano? So we actually create a gradual crescendo throughout that sequence rather than to me feels a little more pedestrian in its dramatic intent. So I think it may be more interesting if we actually create a gradual crescendo throughout that entire section. Don't be afraid of using, and Horowitz was a great one for this, using the colour and artistic possibilities of the soft pedal. Do not be afraid of using soft pedal at the start if it's going to help you really create this beautiful pianissimo that's delicate with great vitality though. Don't be afraid of using the soft pedal and then perhaps lifting during the course of the first sequence, of the first modulation. I think that it would be more interesting to create a gradual crescendo throughout until we arrive at bar 80, 81, 82. Yep. So can we just try that sequence first, please, Amy, focusing on starting pianissimo and doing a gradual crescendo throughout the sequence. Have a go. Good, great. Now, when you arrive at that point, you'll notice too, Amy, that when you try a new dynamic like this, it can throw the muscle memory out a little bit. It can throw it out. So, of course, we stumbled a bit then. Totally natural. Try and start 50 times softer. 50 times softer. I'm sight reading, but you're getting the idea, yeah? So you have to start a lot less, and when you start a lot less, it takes more courage in the articulation. You have to make sure your staccatos are even crisper when you start that soft. So try and really bring it back at the start of that section, all right? So there has to be a lot of intensity in the articulation when we're going for a double piano. So think about starting extraordinarily soft, so you've got somewhere to grow, and then take the soft pedal off gradually. Don't be afraid to use the una corda at the start of this section, okay? Have a go. Now release. And more. Great, very good. So I've given you an idea there, and that was already you had more of a sense of the notes then. Your muscles weren't in so much shock that time. Have a think about that idea to create that tension. When you get to that point, here, put the soft pedal down on the echo. Don't be afraid of using that soft pedal. So when you have a direct tonal repetition of the material, so for example, when you have bar 86, 87, 88, 89, that is definitely forte, okay? You must absolutely feel free to have license to use your soft pedal from bar 91 on the tonal echo, okay? It's the same material. We have to really change the color. We've got to make that absolutely light, fleet, light, shimmering, yep? And then you can take the soft pedal off at bar 94 at that point, yeah? That's important. Looking at the first page, I want you to try a couple of ideas here. We can see the first 4 bars are purely just scales in D major. But our true melodic contour occurs so again, I'd love you to make great use of the echoes. So after these scales, we have to really highlight this gorgeous soprano melody. So again, I want you to try from the start, focusing on creating, have a clear break. That's actually the melodic outline. Make sure that that contour is very clearly delineated and that we do have a clear echo at bar 9. Okay, again, put the soft pedal down. No one's going to sue you for that. It's a fantastic idea. We have the soft pedal on the grand piano or on the modern piano. Let's use it. Go from the start, Amy, and after these opening scales, which should be very bright, very clear, the left hand should be as clear and as even as the right hand. Then let's hear this gorgeous echo. Let's hear this really clear melodic contour. Can you try from the start? Thank you, Amy. Fantastic. That was so much better, even though you weren't quite used to the idea.
Yeah.
even though you weren't used to it physically. Do you see where I'm trying to take you with this?
Yes. Yeah.
That we're moving from the scales into the melodic contour. That already, for me, was more clearly delineated. So that's an idea you can take further. When we get to bar 23, can you keep your left hand? It's a little bit, it's just a little bit, it's a little heavy. It's a little heavy. I like to tell students with the staccato touch, imagine that the keys are extremely hot and you're going to singe your fingertips if you stay on them too long. Get off them, get off them, get off them, get off them. Keep it light because we're already, that's a lot of sound because of where the notes are located on the keyboard. Yeah? Very good, very good. I'd like you to try that again, that first page one more time for me, because I did feel a strong sense of you grasping that idea of the melodic contour, which I felt was missing before. Go again from the start. Yes.
Forgot the
Yes,
subtitle, sorry.
Also, Amy, use the opening F sharp. Let that propel. So I don't want to hear a sense of da 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 da. Don't get stuck in the quaver beat. Da 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 da. It's two gestures. Yeah, it's two gestures. Left hand staccato. Light. Good. Echo. Very good, Amy. At this point, when you get to the left-handed bar 58, definitely staccato there. Definitely crisp staccato, and keep your articulation consistent. So then it should be the same thing at bar 62.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Very good. Amy, I hate to move on, but I actually do want to hear some Debussy. I hope that you found some of those pointers helpful. And my parting words to you are, don't approach your sounds in this genre of music. Don't approach physically vertically. We don't want to hear vertical stabbing of the tones, yeah? Throughout all of these leaps, there's got to be air and breath around the sound. So we're caressing the notes with our fingers rather than don't jab from a height, is my last parting word to you, yeah? Whenever you have these leaps, place them carefully, with great care, with the nice padded part of the little pinky. Don't stab. Does that make sense? Fantastic. I'd love to work more on the scalate, but I actually do want to hear, in the 6 minutes we have left, I do want to hear some Debussy. Now, Amy, before we play this very extraordinary piece of music, I'd like to let our listeners know that Debussy wrote 2 books of preludes, 12 preludes in each book. And this particular prelude is the 6th prelude from book 1. And it's one of his most sparsely written preludes. It's sparsely written in terms of the notation, but the actual performance directions are extremely rich and very programmatic. So, Amy, are you familiar with what the following means? Ce rhythm doit avoir la valeur sonore d'un fond de passage triste et glace. Do you know what that means?
No.
Can you see that at the start? Can you see that at the very beginning?
Yeah. No, sorry. Yeah.
That's okay. This is what we're here for. This is what we're here for. So this is really important that we know what this means. This means that the rhythm needs to create a sonic landscape that is sad and icy. That's what Debussy's intentionally written there. Sad and icy, and the rhythm has to create that sonic landscape of iciness and sadness. I have played this piece. Personally, I've always interpreted it as seeing the footsteps in the snow after the fact. Where have the footsteps been? Where are they headed to? Are the footsteps alone? Are they solitary? Where is this person coming from? Where are they travelling to? Is there desolation behind where these footsteps have come from or where they're headed to? And that, of course, is in this opening question. This is where you've discovered these imprints. So it's quite a fascinating piece with so few notes. He creates this absolutely intimate portrait of potential desolation. And I've always seen it as, when I'm playing it, I see it that I'm the observer. They're not my footsteps in the snow, but I'm observing someone's footsteps. I'm observing someone's journey. Triste et lent, the opening there. Triste, sad, et lent, slow, with a rhythm that paints a sonority of sadness and iciness. When you're ready, Amy, in your own time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. We literally have 1 minute. So I'm so sorry that we didn't have longer to celebrate this music, but I do have a couple of ideas. The one thing I will say is, I don't know if you can see, this is my copy of the Debussy Preludes, and a lot of the writing on the music is from my wonderful late teacher, Professor Hamish Milne from the Royal Academy of Music in London, who I learnt this piece from. And a lot of the markings are Hamish's markings and instructions. So what I will do as a bit of a gift, paying it forward from what my professor taught me, I will get you to get your pencil out. And with literally the 1 minute we have, I'm going to play and explain a couple of the things that he wrote on my score that you can then write on yours.
Yep.
And it's a bit of a way of paying forward Hamish's legacy. So one thing I do want to say is that from bar 2, it is più pianissimo, più, more softly. Your rhythm on the sextuplet has to be consistent, Amy. At the moment, it's not consistent. The footsteps in the snow are at equal distances. Yeah? It's like the person is plodding through the snow and each step is equidistant. So the rhythm cannot be compromised. Now, più piano, softer. Expressive et douloureux. Expressive and sweetly sad. Now there's a comma. Tenuto. Downward falling phrase. Release the tension. Now here, Hamish circled these tenutos in the right hand for me. Amy, when I do these tenutos, watch my finger action, Amy. Stroke the tone out. Don't go vertical. Stroke it. It's a bit like flicking a match. Stroke. Now feel the grow from the A to the B, from the B to the C, from the C to the D. Now, Hamish for me circled expressive in the left hand. Ooh, this left hand has to be languid. The juices have to flow from one note to the next. The left hand bass line is where it's all at. Here, connect your B flat in the right hand. Left hand, A flat, D flat. Make sure that's one voice. One voice between the hands. That's at bar, there's no bar numbers, but you know where I'm at. If you've got the same score as me, it's the third system, third bar. One line Hamish wrote for me. Here, crescendo in the left. Because then that crescendo carries. No accent here, no accent. It's pianissimo. Top voice, top voice, top voice. Top voice. Make sure you voice it towards your pinky. Retenue, slow down. First idea, but look at the left hand that comes in. Don't play this G absent-mindedly. It's a new ingredient, it's a new spice in the recipe. Right hand. The tenuto here in the right hand, tenuto. That's important. Più piano, sede, dying away. Dying away. here we get some comfort, momentary comfort in the G major chord. Maybe the footsteps aren't so desolate. Tenuto. It's the longing, it's the searching for something that we haven't found yet. We haven't found it here. Espressive, tendre, tender, because we've made it into the flat tonality. My teacher there, literally he wrote, Adam, don't hit. So that's what he wrote to me back in 1992. He said, don't hit the right hand. Don't hit it. Caress the notes. Caress them. Now it says on animal. We can get on animal. We can get a little quicker here, a bit quicker. There can be tension building through there. I didn't really get that with you. Retenue, retenue, retenue. Softer here. D to the D flat. That's important. The D to the D flat. Then to the C. C, B, C, B. Then guess where it goes? This distant soprano voice. Comme un tendre et triste regret. With a tender and sad regret. Left hand much softer than what you did. Hamish here wrote the word fall in the right hand. Let the leaves fall. Let them fall. That's exactly what Hamish wrote. May he rest in peace. He wrote fall. Fall. Plus lent, more slowly. More with now death is enveloping the scene. Staccato, staccato. You rushed through this. Très lent, extremely slow, because we've realized that the footsteps possibly have disappeared from the landscape. And maybe we're left with a sheet of white at the end, and we're desolate. With no answer. So a lot of those instructions, may Hamish rest in peace. I studied with Hamish for 3 years in London. I did do that piece with him. What I gave you were, it's very heartwarming for me to see his handwriting on the music. So I hope that you can maybe take some of those thoughts with your teacher and think about what these sparse notes mean. Don't underestimate Debussy's instructions on the music. It's extremely important that you do understand what the French means, Amy. So, go online, type these sentences in. You will find the translation in Google, but it's so important because Debussy was extraordinarily particular about all the direction he wrote on his score. Yeah? Right down to the millimeter, he was absolutely very intent on being extremely clear about the picture that he wanted to create, and the responsibility that is then therefore left on the performer is of course enormous, because he did leave everything there and everything must be fully digested. Yeah. So I feel at this stage for you, this piece needs a lot more exploring. You've now got the notes. Now you need to really think about, in conjunction with your teacher, creating a picture that's going to resonate with you. Because there aren't many notes to fall back on.
Thank you.
There aren't that many notes to fall back on. Yeah? It's truly takes great resources of your imagination in creating an image and a picture internally that's going to make these notes leap out from the page and touch you in a really visceral, emotional way. Amy, I have gone over time, but I couldn't help myself. It's been lovely working with you for the brief time today, and I wish you so much happiness and good health during this really challenging time that we're all facing, and stay safe and well. Keep loving your music, and all the best in your continued preparations for your grade 8.
Thank you very much for your time and all those valuable advice, and hope you have a good day.
Thank you so much, Amy. Thank you. Hello, Mr. Jonathan.
Hello, Adam.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good. Now, if you like, you can call me Mr. Adam. Would you like to? Because I'm very old. Would you like to call me Mr. Adam?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, we can do that. Now, Jonathan, tell me a little bit about yourself. How old are you, young man?
I'm 4 years old.
You're 4 years old. So that's getting on a bit. You're almost 5. When do you turn 5?
Another month.
Another month. So you're like 4 3/4.
Next year.
What was that, sorry?
Next year I'll turn 5.
Oh, okay. So you're older than 4. You're like 4 and something. Are you like 4.5? Or would you say that you're 4 3/4? What would you say you are? Are you like 4.5?
4.5, yes.
Yeah, because this is very important that we get your age correct, young man. You're not just 4, you're 4.5. And you're playing a Yamaha piano, which is really wonderful. And whereabouts are you? Are you in Melbourne?
Yes, I'm in Melbourne.
Oh, wonderful. Can I ask, what town do you live in? What suburb are you in?
What
Do you live in Wanturna?
Garden?
Oh, that sounds like a marvellous place. All right, that sounds fantastic. And are you excited to perform tonight?
Yes, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm very excited to hear you. Do you know that you've already got a 5-year head start on me, because I didn't start learning piano till I was 9 years old. So you're going to be so good when you're 9. I didn't even know where middle C was until I was 9 years old. So you already have a very good head start. Now, do you practice every day? Now, don't lie here, because I'm going to know if you're telling the truth or not. Do you practice every day?
Yes, I practice every day.
You do. Well, you know what? I think you're telling the truth. And I think that's fantastic. So you keep practicing every day, and you're going to find that you're going to become so good through all that practicing. Now, I see that you have 4 lovely pieces here. We have an andantino. We have a minuet. We have let's sing a duet. It's amazing that you've learned all of this. And we have a waltz as well. Is that correct? You have 4 pieces to show me?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Now, before you start performing for all of your fans out there, because this is very, very big news, you've got a very big audience out there, Jonathan, and they're all so excited to listen to you. They're very excited to listen to you. Now, Who is your teacher? What's your teacher's name?
I only have Song of the Book now.
Oh, so you have the song of... I wonder which piece that is. You know what? I think if you start playing, I have all of your sheets here. I'll work out what piece you're playing. But my question to you before you start playing, Jonathan, who's your teacher? Who teaches you piano?
No one. Just my mom.
Oh, your mum teaches you. Is that
Yeah.
your mum teaches you piano?
Yeah, I don't have teacher.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. I'll tell you, before you start playing, you know who my first piano teacher was? Do you know who it was?
I don't know.
My mum.
Your mom?
My mum was my first. My mum went to heaven a couple of years ago, but she was my first piano teacher. My mother taught many, many, many people how to play the piano. So it's so nice that your mum is teaching you how to play. That's a wonderful thing. What piece are you going to start with first? What would you like to play first?
Lesson and what I'll play first.
Thank you, Jonathan. When you're ready, all of your fans are waiting.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good boy. Oh, Jonathan, that was fantastic. You played that beautifully. Now, I noticed straight away that you have a beautiful hand position, lovely natural hand position, and you play very fluently. Before I say some very important things, I think you played that so well. Can you perform that for us one more time? And then I'm going to tell you a few things about the music. Is that okay?
That's all okay.
Good. I'm glad that's all right. I'm glad. I'm relieved. Can you perform that again from the start, young man?
Yeah.
Good boy. Then I'm going to tell you a few things. All right? Good boy. Thank you. Good boy. Beautiful job. Jonathan, I'm going to talk about something towards the end of the song. Okay? Have a listen to this. Wait. Wait. I want you to wait a little bit longer
Okay.
in between there. So what I heard from you, you kind of jumped a little bit quick. I want you to take your time there. Take a little breath. But it can take a little bit of time, yeah? That's the first thing. The second thing I want to talk about, at the very start, Jonathan, have a look at the very first bar for me. Look at that first bar on the music. And you'll see there, Jonathan, that we have the letter P. P. What does P mean? Do you know what that means?
Piano.
And what do we do when we see piano?
Soft.
Very soft. So I want you to play the opening more softly, so then when we get to bar 9, Our forte sounds wonderful and big. Tell me, when you see the letters dim, can you see that at the end of the third line? Can you see the letters D-I-M?
D-I-M.
Do you know what that means?
Slow down.
Close. Get softer.
Yes, disappear.
Get soft. So do you know what the full Italian word is? The full Italian word is diminuendo. Diminuendo, which means to get softer. Can you say that big Italian word? Diminuendo.
You mean and but
That was very good, Jonathan. You sound like an Italian person because all of these words are Italian. So I want you to get softer there. Listen to Mr. Adam play the piece all the way through, and I'll talk you through all the different louds and softs. Have a listen. So at the start, we have to be very sweet, very soft. Now, big surprise. Diminuendo. Wait. Wait. Do you think you can try all of those things for me?
yes.
Well, by the way, Jonathan, I love your shirt. Your shirt is very smart.
Yes.
And you have dressed just like a concert performer.
Yes.
Very smart. So this is very, very good to see that you are already dressing like a concert pianist. It's very, very good. Yes. All right. I love your smile as well. Your smile is wonderful. Audiences love to see that, by the way. Yeah, they love to see that. Your manager down the track will love to see you smile to your audiences. You'll do really well. Now, let's try this from the start. Softer at the beginning. Then, when it says forte, we have to be proud. We have to be strong. And then diminuendo. Get softer, get softer. And then we have to wait at the end. I'll get you to try all of that for me now. I bet you can do it. Do you think you can do all those things?
Yeah.
All right, you show me, Jonathan. Thank you. When you're ready. Soft. Nice and big. Now get softer. And you're going to wait. Jonathan, that was fantastic. Good boy. What's your next song you're going to play? Do you have another one?
Water.
What's your next song? You play your next one. I'll find it, don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah. That was lovely, Jonathan. You played that very beautifully. Do you know what a waltz is? This piece...
Yes. They are spinning.
Oh, you did this. I like that. So yeah, is a waltz a dance?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a dance. Oh, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So it's a very graceful dance with 3 beats in every bar. Yeah. I want you to get that lovely ta Da, da. Lovely light left hand. Delicate light left hand. Yeah? This piece is very sunny. It's very smiley. It's very happy piece. Can you try that again for me? Creating as much sunlight as you can. Yeah?
Okay.
Show me. Very sunny. Good boy, that was beautifully played. What's your next piece?
None of the book.
Ah, very good. Very good. Okay, perform this one for me. Oh, again, Jonathan, lovely performance. I think your tempo, the speed that you play is very, very suitable for this piece because it's a very graceful piece, isn't it? It's gentle and graceful. When you get to this bit here, let's hear some more left hand. I want your left hand a little bit stronger. Little bit more left hand there. Can you try that bit for me? Yeah, try that bit. Good boy, that was much better because that left hand's a real feature there, yeah? Have you heard this piece before? Have you heard that before? It's written by a man called Mozart, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. And it's a piece that he wrote many, many years ago. He was called Mozart and he was pretty clever. He was kind of a clever guy, yeah?
Yeah.
He wrote a lot. You've heard of Mozart?
Yeah, but I didn't play.
Ah, and I think this composer got inspired by Mozart because this sounds a little bit similar. So I think he got a bit excited by Mozart. Can you hear it sounds a little bit the same?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think he's onto a good thing because it's a really nice melody. That was beautiful, Jonathan. What is your last piece that you're going to play?
Minuet.
I'd love to hear the minuet. Now, for all of our listeners out there, a minuet is a dance that was very popular amongst the royal circuits during the Baroque period. And it was also a very popular dance in the early classical period. And it is a dance of great gentility in triple time, in 3 beats in the bar. So a somewhat similar, graceful triple time signature feel of the waltz. This is a lovely little minuet. Do you know what key this piece is in, Jonathan? Do you know the key?
I don't know.
You know what key it's in? It's in G major.
G major. Okay.
G major, yeah, because we have one sharp at the beginning. So we're in G major, which is a very happy key. G major is like sunlight, it's sunshine. G major is like the flowers coming out in bloom. It's a very happy key. And this is a very happy piece.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear you play. By the way, you have very nice haircut. Your hair is very smart too. You went to a lot of trouble today to
Yeah,
present.
my mom made it.
Oh, it's your mum does very good hair. So she teaches very good piano and she does very good hair.
Yeah.
So your mum's doing all very good things for you. Yeah? So we're very lucky to have our wonderful mothers, aren't we? We're very lucky to have our wonderful mums. I miss my mum all the time. But she's always with me. Even though she's in heaven now, she's always with me. Our wonderful mums. All right. Can you show me this wonderful minuet?
Yeah.
Okay. Lovely. Oh, I think you deserve a big round of applause, Jonathan. Can we all give Jonathan a big round of applause? Can you take a bow, Jonathan? A beautiful bow? Yes, we bow to our audience. Can I meet your mum? Is your mum there?
No, she's at the front.
Oh, okay. I would have liked to have talked to your mum. You have done a beautiful job. Now, you're only 4 years old. You play amazingly. All right? You are a very, very talented boy. So now you have to promise that you will always practice very hard on your piano studies and you'll practice every day. And by the time you get to 9 or 10, you'll be doing things that when I was 9, I was only dreaming of. Yeah? So you keep going. You're doing an amazing job. Thank you so much, Jonathan, for sharing your music with us.
Yes. Thank you, Adam.
Oh, my pleasure, Jonathan. It was lovely. I hope I get to hear you again.
Yeah.
Because I'd love to hear you. Maybe in another 6 months or a year's time, I could maybe give you a little special lesson. Because I'd love to hear you and see how much you've improved. Yeah? So maybe we can do a little masterclass down the track and I can see how you've developed.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, Jonathan, I have to say goodbye now. You did a great job. Bye, Jonathan. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello, Nicole.
Hello.
Lovely to see you. Lovely to see you. Thank you so much for joining in this masterclass tonight. It's lovely to have you here, and it's so nice to be sharing our music, albeit not in the same room, but to be sharing our musical thoughts and ideas during a time where we do feel, at times somewhat detached and isolated. It's really lovely that we can use music as a tool to bring our souls together and to share ideas and to share art. So it's lovely to have you here. Nicole, just a couple of questions. How old are you, sweetheart?
I'm 12.
You're 12. Okay, beautiful. And you've been playing piano for how long?
I think maybe 3 years, approximately. 3 years.
Okay, so you started about the same age that I started, around 9 years old?
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely. And who teaches you piano?
Paul.
Paul, I don't know. What's Paul's surname? Do you know his last name?
McCarthy.
Paul McCarthy. I know Paul. I used to work with Paul.
Oh, really?
I used to work with Paul at a school called Salesian College. I know Paul. That's a very small world. Very small world. Amazing. Amazing. Okay, and you have a couple of pieces today that you would like to present.
Yes.
You have the first movement of the rather marvelous and rather famous Mozart C Major Sonata, Koelschel 545, which of course everyone out there will know. We all know that marvelous piece. And you also have the Chopin Fantasy Impromptu, which I have to say, if these pieces, you've done incredible progress in 3 years' time. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
You've obviously progressed very, very fast. Are you preparing for an exam specifically, or?
Yes, I am.
Okay, what exam are you preparing for?
I'm not exactly sure what name it's called, but I did finish my Year 8 exam last year, so it's the level above that, but I'm not exactly sure what it is.
Are you doing the AMEB exams?
Yes.
So you're probably doing the AMSA, the Associate Diploma?
I think so.
If it's the one after grade 8, you've said you've done your grade 8?
Yes.
Gee, in 3 years you've done fantastic progress.
Thank you.
Good girl, that's amazing. You must obviously work very hard as well. Do you practice all the time?
Pretty much all the time.
That's great. All right, would you like to play the Mozart first?
Okay.
Nicole, would that work for you?
Yeah.
Okay, good girl. Thank you. When you're ready. Thank you, Nicole. Good girl, good girl. Now, we have very limited time, so I'll just give you a couple of ideas to run with that you can chat about with your teacher. The left-hand colour at the start, I'd like you just to practice working on the colour and the sound, the colour and the sound of the accompaniment at the beginning. I want to see how delicately you can make it sound. I felt that yours was a little heavy. I want to see if you can bring it right back.
Yeah.
Can you just try the left-hand first line on its own, listening to the sound and the quality of the sound and the softness of the colour?
Yeah.
Try that. Good. Good. Nicole, that's very good. You can use less finger action. Keep the fingers, the pads of the fingers in contact with the key the whole time. If I can bring the screen down a bit. Rather than, don't pick the fingers up, because then that's going to be easier to get. So everything's, and it's kind of overlapping slightly. Don't be worried about overlap, but keep the fingers in contact with the keys. That'll help you get a softer sound.
Yeah.
Try that, try that. Good, Nicole, that's very good. I have a question to ask. Are you using pedal?
Yes, a little bit.
Don't need to.
Okay.
So if you use that nice overlap finger, get rid of the pedal.
Okay.
You shouldn't really be using any pedal at all in this, except for certain cadence points. For example, pedal, anything like that. If you have a da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum pedal, you can use the pedal to amplify the sound at a cadence point. But in terms of an opening like this in Mozart, there's enough sound created.
Yeah.
So now I want you to put the right hand above that. Sure. I want that upbeat, the fourth beat of the bar, more staccato in the left hand.
Yeah.
So there's a sense of buoyancy in that
Yeah.
left hand, a sense of a sense of the leap in the music. Yeah, we don't want to hear da da da. It's too earthbound. So we just want to create more bounce, more spring. Yeah. Can you try that opening, Nicole? Just focusing on that left hand, fingers close to the key. Right hand, beautiful cantabile. You have to imagine that this is out of one of Mozart's operas. Ooh, ooh, it's like a singer sings. We're not thinking it's not hammers. It's the soprano singer. Yeah. And this lovely, so we've got two layers. Have a go, have an experiment, see how you go.
Yeah.
Good girl. Good, Nicole, good girl. That first line was already better. Left hand the other way around. Short, long. Short, long. So it's staccato on the fourth beat and tenuto on the first beat. Short, long, short, long, short, long. Okay, make sure that you get the staccato on the fourth beat of the bar and the tenuto on the first beat of the bar.
Yeah. Okay.
Good girl. That was good. Now, at the start, by the way, you started going a bit faster. Fantastic. I want this music to go a little bit quicker. And you've got the fingers. You can do it. Don't hold back. Try that a little bit fun, a bit more movement. Don't be shy about it. You can do it.
Yeah.
Okay, try that. Good girl. Thank you, Nicole. Good girl, good girl. Stop for a second. I can already feel this is developing really well. Good girl. At this point, when you get here, staccatos in the right hand, much lighter. Even though it says forte, we don't want it to sound heavy. We don't want it to sound... There's too much...
Yeah.
That's still forte. That's still forte. We don't want to lose the sense of buoyancy. Can you try that bar for me?
Yeah.
Yep, good. So keep it nice and staccato, but not too heavy.
Yeah.
So that's something to work on with your teacher to get the coordination. We haven't got time today, but I want you to think about just focusing on coordinating that here in the left hand. Not too loud, not too loud. We're just outlining 5, 1, 5, 1. So keep it lighter. Not so heavy. Here, Amy, Nicole, I reckon you can do this faster now. I think you're being too shy. I think you can do it.
Okay.
I believe in you. Try that section. Very soft in the left hand. See if you can go a little bit faster.
Yeah.
Good. Now Amy, Nicole, sorry, Amy was my first student. Sorry, Nicole. Well done, because you really pushed the tempo then. And I know it was out of your comfort zone, but that's the tempo that I want you to aim for.
Okay.
That's the tempo where the music truly starts coming to life.
Yeah.
And you can do it. You can absolutely do it.
Yeah.
You can do that. Yeah. Does it feel a bit more exciting at that speed?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Now here also be careful at the ends of phrases such as this. Don't go so heavy. give it a little less sound, take a bit of weight out of the sound. And before I hear some Chopin, there is a full beat there before you go into the development section. So, rest. There's a full beat.
Yeah.
You were cutting that rest out.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, great. Look, I had to just give you just a couple of ideas there. I'd love to hear a bit of Chopin. I'm quite intrigued to see what you've done with the Chopin. Yeah? How much of the Chopin have you learnt? Have you learnt all of it?
Yes, I have.
Okay. I mightn't hear all of it today, or I may hear all of it. I'm not sure. If you hear me yell out, stop, then just stop and then we'll talk. Otherwise, just keep playing. And I might say something at the end.
Yeah.
All right.
I haven't got very fast with the Chopin.
That's okay. You show me what speed you've done.
Yeah.
Great, Nicole, stop for 1 second. Good girl, good girl. Great, I'll just say a couple of things before you... I'd like to hear the next section. But I'd just like to say a couple of things.
Yeah.
Okay. The opening G sharp, that's a dramatic call to action. It's a declaration, perhaps a declaration of war. Okay? We need to make something of that. So give it the time, the space that it needs. You cut it very, very short.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it says sforzando. And then when you get to the forte, then bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. So you've got 2 bars. By the way, you did pick up to a really healthy tempo. You actually started too cautious. You could have gone quicker. You were just being careful. But you actually got quite fast towards the end, which was the tempo that we want from the very beginning. Yeah. When you get to that if there's forte, diminuendo, getting softer, piano. Then it's all piano. It's piano. It's piano. It's piano. Okay?
Yeah.
And then it doesn't get forte until... piano. So then we get soft. Then we get soft. But in terms of that whole opening section, from here, that's all piano. That's all piano. Delicate. So the opening, Nicole, I want you to feel that progression from the 5th note, and then away you go. So that opening has to totally capture the listener's attention.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a declaration.
Yeah.
You can't just throw it away. Okay, it sets the scene. Try. Soft. This is the bit. This is the bit. So on the echo, there on that echo, make it an echo. Yeah. So can you just go from? Can you go from? That was a good opening, Nicole. Much better. Good girl. Can you pick it up from the forte? Can you pick it up from there? The forte. Diminuendo. Good, good, Nicole. With a bit more disciplined finger work, you will get all of that because that's about the right speed. You just need to now break it down a bit and gain more finger control, but you have got the right idea now. When you get to that point, you're doing the reverse to what Chopin wants. That's the sforzando, but you're coming down. So what I'm hearing that. But what I want to hear that's sforzando. That is the most dramatic bar so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you did the opposite. You went very soft.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you pick it up before we have to finish up? Can you pick it up going into that? I can't believe the time has run away from us. But if you can just lead into it, maybe from there.
Okay.
Nicole, bravo. We're out of time. I would love to spend 3 more hours with you, but we're out of time. But I hope I've given you a couple of things to think about.
Yeah.
Good girl. You are, for 3 years lessons, you should be so proud of yourself. You have done amazingly in 3 years' time. Always be tireless in your pursuit of gaining total control over your fingers, yeah? Do your slow practice. Do your methodical, careful work, yeah? I'd love to hear you again in about a year's time and see where these pieces are at. It would be wonderful. Nicole, it's been lovely hearing you tonight. And
Thank you.
oh, my pleasure. And keep practicing hard.
Yeah.
And stay safe and well.
Yes, you too.
Thank you so much, Nicole.
Thank you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.